like, honestly, if I could be 1,000% transparent, I just feel like Eric was just annoyed with me, and it drew me away from him. He was always mad, and it was hard for me to go out and just be successful and do my money monster stuff, because I used to tell him all the time, you acting mad worries me, and I can't like be myself to
Is that what we're gonna talk about
in my business, because I'm worried about my man.
And then you want that relationship to keep going. You did not treat her heart like it was hers. You did not treat her heart like she needed what they call a military a profile of a certain amount of time where it doesn't receive that type of activity.
Hey, welcome back to Black Press. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Now let's get to it.
Hey, welcome back to We Are
Black Press.
I'm your girl Trish.
And I'm your boy Mr. Define.
And we're going to get into some stuff.
Let's get into it.
Before we do get into it, please make sure you like, comment,
share, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Hit the bell for notifications for all future episodes. All right, what we got?
Oh, we got some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody likes to eat, right?
Yeah, I like to eat. I like to survive and sustain in life.
Yeah. So you like how ghetto girls eat?
No. So this is one time. Nah, I ain't finna go into that. Okay,
I want to hear this.
One time, right?
You brought it up, so I want to hear it.
No, I'm not finna make myself look bad.
I want to hear it.
I tell you,
you can't bring it up.
Look, back in my old day, look, I done told y'all before, I was.
It was a wild thing.
I was wild out there in the streets. Okay, so one of my best friends, he had set up this double date, right? And with the girl he was talking to, and she had a friend, right?
Was the friend cute?
No.
Yeah, you stuck with that one.
No. So we was at Stonecrest Mall area, and we went. I think it was like a Ruby Tuesdays or something over there, and we sat down and I was upset. I'm not even gonna lie. I was eating and everything. Okay, I was young, dumb, and broke. I wasn't like super broke, but I wasn't finna pay no bill for no highly unattractive. So waitress comes, we eat, we order, blah blah blah.
Don't tell me you say you was gonna split the bill.
I did not.
Okay.
I did not say I was gonna split the bill. I also did not say I was going to pay. So yeah, all that. Waitress came, was like, all right, so you ready for the check? Yeah, we're gonna be separate. I'm not saying that was the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I was young, dumb, and broke, and I wasn't finna spend the little changes that I had on this girl that I barely knew and was in no way attracted to.
Mm-mm.
I'm not saying it was the right thing to do.
Poor thing.
But when it comes to, I don't know, you just sparked that. I rarely ever talk about that incident. But just when you say ghetto girl,
was she ghetto?
Huh?
Was she just unattractive, or was she like?
I mean,
what's her mannerisms?
I don't. Obviously,
didn't matter 'cause she was like.
Obviously, her mannerisms were not good enough.
Oh man, because sometimes you have that real unattractive like.
Yeah, but here's the
ugly person.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't like how it all conspired, or not conspired, but how it all played out. It was like, okay, you got this girl, my best friend, they dating or whatever, but it was like, you gonna show up and just expect like you just showed up. I felt like she just showed up for a meal, and it aggravated me. It's like, you know.
What if she had an awesome personality? Like she was nice, bubbly.
Well, then
Yeah,
I would have recognized it. I would have recognized it. But then again, I was. Yeah. I wasn't always a great guy.
Oh man.
But God has changed me.
Well, in talking about Ghetto Girls Eat, there's a show with Sierra Gates and Eric Whitehead.
Why they gotta say Ghetto Girls Eat though? I mean, let me talk about this. Why are we believing that we can take what is obviously identified as negative and change it into something positive? That's not. That doesn't happen.
It's a tag. It's because it's known that in the ghetto neighborhoods or ghetto, that's where they be coming up with these crazy meals. And I had
I came up with crazy meal.
I had chili with Doritos in it. I ain't never had it
we had chili on top of Fritos, and it was called a Frito pie.
That tastes good too. You ever saw that meme going around with the chili on top of Fruity Pebbles? You said that's what black people eat? No. We don't do that. I just want to put that out there. But
all I'm saying is a negative word put in a separate environment is still a negative word.
Yeah.
Like if I was to walk up to you, a woman that is completely that I don't really know, and be like, "You ghetto," are you gonna think is the first thing you think gonna be something positive? No.
Yeah,
so therefore, the word itself is negative. You can't attach a negative word to something that you want to be positive and expect it to be positive. That's not how it works.
But she's trying to.
That's not how language works.
Like a cliche,
No, you're trying to turn it into something that's positive. You're trying to say that Ghetto Girls is a positive attribute. It's not.
It just has that negative connotation all over it.
Exactly. If it's negative then, it's negative now. And if it's negative if the wrong person says it to you, then it's negative all the time.
If somebody comes to me they be like, Ghetto Girls be eating it.
Right? So, I mean, that's
I can see it in that sense.
So I just wish we would not do that.
Yeah. But in talking about Ghetto Girls Eat, so getting into the show, we have those two. There used to be a couple. So he was featured on her show and she was doing her cooking and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They were mentioning what was the downfall of their relationship and what occurred to make them break up.
Yeah,
I think it was pretty interesting. The stuff they picked out, and I want to show that to y'all.
All right.
So surprised. He used to just be mad. I feel like honestly, if I could be 1,000% transparent, I just feel like Eric was just annoyed with me, and it drew me away from him. He was always mad, and it was hard for me to go out and just be successful and do my money monster stuff. Cause I used to tell him all the time, "You acting mad worries me, and I can't be myself to
Is that what we gonna talk about
in my business." Because I'm worried about my man. I'm worried about my husband. I'm that type. If I'm so pure and I'm so genuine. Yes, I'm what do Aunt call me? He said I think off of impulse. Yes, I do. I'm very impulsive.
All right.
So basically, she was saying that the downfall of their relationship was because she was being overly emotional and touchy-feely towards him, but he was just putting up a guard. And then she found out that he was texting other females and reaching out to other females for attention and stuff. Then they said, they still stayed together, but they argued a lot, back and forth.
So they was he was texting other females, and then she found out.
Yeah.
And then they argued back and forth.
Yes.
Oh, that's the perfect.
So
I've been waiting to talk about this.
Listen, when she found out, that's when she stopped being like real
loving.
Like being real loving to him. She started putting on this hard exterior that was to protect herself.
Yeah.
That happens in a lot of relationships.
Yeah. I didn't even know this was going to come up, but I've been waiting to talk about it. This topic.
Yeah.
Because what it is it's a healing type of thing. So when it comes to healing in relationships and emotional healing, we think about it the wrong way, for real. So, and I actually talked about this with a friend of mine years ago. She was in this relationship with another guy, and they had these issues, and she had saw some things on his text messages, and it's pretty much the same situation. But the issue was understanding how to get past it.
Yeah.
So,
and that's hard.
It is,
especially when somebody like betrays your trust.
It is.
It's very hard to move on.
And I didn't understand it when I went through it back in my first marriage. But the thing is, when it comes to healing, emotional healing, we don't understand that emotional healing is still a wound. It's an emotional wound, but it's still a wound. So we have to think about it in the same way as a wound. So if I'm doing something, and a lot of men don't understand this when it comes to getting over cheating and stuff like that. We want the woman to automatically forgive us, and then, it's just supposed to go back the way it was. Yeah. That's not the way it works. So I'm going to put it in a men's mindset. So if I'm on the field and I'm playing a game, football game, say football, and I get a fracture in my leg, right? So first thing I got to do is I had to get the broken leg reset, right? So I got to get the reset. So I got to bring myself and the person that I injured, the woman, we have to come into the same room, sit down, talk about it. That's resetting the fracture, right? And we want the woman to automatically, in a relationship, to automatically go back to being the way it was, like the fracture is already healed. Yeah. It's not already healed. You taking 6 to 12 weeks of walking around with a full cast and crutches, and you have to baby it, and you have to not bump into the thing, and you have to make sure that you stay on the cast. You cannot stand on the leg. You can't go from resetting the leg to walking straight up. No, because your leg's never going to heal. So we want our relationship to heal off of just sitting down and talking about it. But your leg is still broken. Your relationship is still broken. There's still that fracture. And until you let it heal, you can't go to doing a 100-yard dash. Yeah. So the issue is, so when we do that, we have to we reset the relationship. We talk about the same. What do we do when we break something? We talk to the doctor. Okay, I can't do this. I can't do that. Yeah. I have to walk around on my crutches. I have to stay on the crutches for at least 6 weeks. And then I have to wear the boot for another 10 weeks or whatever the time is. And every time before the leg is completely healed, every time I bump into anything, it feels like I've completely fractured the leg all over again. That's the type of pain it is, right? Emotionally, there's that wound of a fractured heart. And everything that happens after we sit down and reset it, and we're sitting in a cast of a relationship, everything that happens is a bump. Yeah. That makes the woman or whoever got cheated on feel 100% like it is being broken all over again. So we're expecting, we went through a healing process. You forgave me. You put it in the cast. But you just bumped it again.
Yeah.
I saw it in the text message. You did something. You said something that made me feel like it was happening all over again. That's just like bumping your leg in the middle of the night when you went to the refrigerator. It feels like that leg is getting broken all over again.
Yeah. And men don't understand or get that. They think once you forgive them, it's like, she forgave me.
You said you forgave me, so why are we still talking about this?
Yeah.
Because we're still walking around in the cast.
We still have this.
We're in the cast and we're on crutches in this relationship. And if you think that you're gonna get out there and we're still gonna run, 100 meters in 9.4 seconds, you lost your mind.
Yeah.
You still have to heal.
And I think that's a lot of what goes on in relationships now. But it reaches to a point to where we don't know how, especially in the Black community, it reaches to a point where we're detrimental to ourselves and to each other. So we reach this point where we're constantly trying to heal the same thing over and over and over again.
Because
we end up destroying each other. And then when you walk away from that relationship, it's like you hate each other.
Yeah.
And there's no more love left.
So I did that. I broke my thumb when I was 15 years old. It was a hot summer day and like 85 degrees. And we were in apartments and they wouldn't open the pool. So we climbed over the fence. So we climbed over the fence and we were jumping in and we would stack up. Y'all know from the hood, we stacking up chairs. We ain't got no diving board or nothing. We just stacking up chairs and we jump over the chairs to dive into the pool. It was dangerous, but I had hops. Even though I'm a short dude, I had hops. So we would dive on. So I'm like, hey, everybody get out the way. And so I'm like, everybody get out the way. I'm gonna jump. So I dive over the chairs. This girl, I even remember her name. I was in like 9th, 10th grade. Iman, that was her name. She jumped in. This chick jumped in the pool at the same time I was finna jump into the pool. And I broke my thumb on her back. And I went into the house. I walked my bicycle back to the house. I walked in the house. I'm like, Ma, I think I broke my thumb. And she comes around the corner like, oh my God, she broke it. It was pulled all the way off to the side. So here it is. Okay, that's what happened. Go to the hospital. Get it reset like I was talking about. Get it reset. And put in the cast. No. But yes. So this is what happened, and this is what we do, especially a lot of men that have cheated and aren't willing to go through the process. It was summertime. You know what I did? I went back outside and I kept playing. I'm in a full cast playing football in the neighborhood. I thought I could keep going. 6 weeks go by. We go back to the doctor. Guess what? It didn't heal. It's still stuck. So they have to do a surgery now. They have to put pins. They have to do a surgery. And sometimes we don't understand that. That's when you end up having to go to counseling, especially if you're married, because instead of you babying the relationship until you get to a fully healed position, you want to go and back and running 100 miles per hour. And now the broken relationship is completely messed up where you have to do surgery and now I have to go get counseling. Yeah. So they put pins on both sides of my thumb and stuck it all the way in there and then put another cast on it. So now I have these pins. And ultimately, I guess it kind of worked, but we don't take the time to completely heal before we try to treat the relationship like it's back to the way that it was.
Yeah. And then it's also an individual thing as well, too.
Yeah.
Because you have to, because once your trust is betrayed, you have to, within yourself, begin to try to get back to trusting yourself in order to trust the other person again.
The thing is, what a lot of people don't understand is when you choose to forgive somebody, it's not I chose to forgive and I'll never think about it. Only God can forgive you and completely put it out of His memory. We still be there. Even though I tell you I forgive you, I still remember. Yeah. So choosing to forgive is an everyday choice. Every day, and that especially in a deep relationship and in marriage. Every day that I wake up, I have to take everything I know about you from the past and as far past as yesterday and decide if I still want to be in this relationship. I have to decide.
There's always a choice.
Yeah. I have to decide. If I've chosen to forgive you, I have to choose to forgive you every day that I wake up and I think about it. Because guess what? Me thinking about it hurts. When she thought about every morning she wakes up and she thinks and remembers that you did this, you cheated, you said this, or he said this, or she said this. Every day we have to wake up and remember and know that and still choose to love you anyway.
Yeah. And that's what a breakdown comes with inside, like that individual work that you have to do.
Yeah.
Because it can break you down.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you end up doing stuff that you don't mean to do, but you end up doing it because you need some sort of relief or something to make you feel
something to make the pain go away.
Yeah.
Like if you cheat, if a man cheats and then he thinks things are gonna go back to normal because you said you forgive me, but then it still hurts, and instead of you helping me baby this arm in a cast until it comes to full healing, you want me to run around with you like you never broke my arm. If you put the heart where the arm is and say you broke her arm, you have to baby the arm while the cast is on until it fully heals before you go back to being fully capable of moving like you would in a regular relationship. But you want to pretend like the arm is already healed, and then everything you do is still bumping the arm. You're still breaking her heart all over again, and even if you're not doing it, it feels like it because it got bumped. And then you're wondering why she's lashing out because it hurt every time you bump. Even though that bump might be super slight, I'm telling you, when you break something or you sprain an ankle and they say, okay, you got 2 weeks to rest on it, but you break something, you going through that pain every step for months. Why do we believe that the heart is any different from any other muscle or ligament in our body?
I think the heart takes a lot. The heart takes a lot longer to heal than anything in the body.
Yeah, especially the emotional heart. Yeah, actually, possibly even like the physical heart.
Yeah, the heart is one of the
strongest muscles and the most vulnerable.
Yes.
That's why, people that get older end up getting stents in their heart because if you don't put something in there to keep those arteries open, you're gone.
Yeah, and heart was what flows blood through the body. So
if
you're hiding
that, and then you want that relationship to keep going. You did not treat her heart like it was.
It takes time and
patience. You did not treat her heart like she needed what they call a profile of a certain amount of time where it doesn't receive that type of activity.
We need something like that, like
a heart profile.
Yeah, well, a heart profile, something that that shows you how to.
There should be. I see what you're saying. Like there should be something that says, okay, for a text message to an ex-girlfriend, you go 2 weeks where you don't do anything that could harm you or you. If you cheat, you need to go to a year where you don't do anything that might seem like it's bumping that injury.
Yep.
If you have a full-on affair, you need to go 6 years where you don't do anything that bumps that cast that is trying to heal. But we think we can just keep going and keep going and keep going. You haven't fixed or allowed the last fracture to heal before you're going and bumping into something else.
And that's coming. We're gonna work on that. It's gonna be a heart profile.
Right? Yeah. I like it.
Well, people, make sure that if you're in a relationship, first, yourself. Make sure you're one within yourself. Make sure that you're being properly loved, treated. There's so many things that incorporates that. Just make sure when you're in that relationship, whoever you're with, they have to understand you. And you have to understand them. Don't go in a relationship and have it to where you guys are on the offense all the time. You have to have some type of common ground. Moving forward, that heart profile is look out for it.
And I'll say, even though my camera's a little blurry, I'm gonna switch to this one. For us as men, especially those that have cheated, we have to understand. And I ain't cheated in this one. I am saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost when it comes to that. But I reformed. I am reformed. Yeah. No, just speaking from experience and analyzing things in my head and talking to people. We have to recognize that just because she has decided to forgive you, we have to understand that she has to still choose to forgive you every day that she wakes up and still remembers. So when we heal, the injury that broke my arm, eventually, after I keep it from being harmed again, will heal to the point where if I bump it, I don't feel that pain. That is the moment where she can remember that you cheated, but not feel the same pain that she felt when you cheated. That is the moment where she's actually completely been able to forgive you. Yeah. But it's not an instant process. Because every time she thinks about it, she remembers and she feels the same pain. And then over time of not injuring, not breaking that leg or that arm, not bumping up against the wall in the middle of the night, eventually, after none of those re-injuries happen, does she actually be able to remember the incident without feeling the pain? That's when she's healed. And if you don't understand that, then you ain't playing no sports. You did nothing where you got injured. Because if you understand how things go when you get injured, and you'll understand how anybody has to go through the process of healing without completely being broken and have to go into surgery.
And boom, that's it. So make sure you give us some feedback. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
Am I hitting it on all cylinders?
Oh, wait, you know what?
I've done a lot of thought process through that.
I thought that was going to go a different way. I thought you was going to, defend.
Yeah. No. But I'll go deeper than you think. I'm telling you, I'll be thinking, my mind go deep. I've thought about that process. Like I said, that was years ago when I came up with that analogy with a friend. That was 2017.
Yeah.
Because, I ain't got no female friends now, but but at that time, she was talking to me, and I was trying to help her understand and try to put it in perspective. And when you help others, you get a greater perspective for yourself.
That was good.
Subscribe. If you ain't subscribed off of that, ladies, I'm telling you, we're not trying to just beat up on any one side. Mm-hmm. Yes, you're going to get beat up, but you're going to come out a fighter.
Yeah.
You get beat up when you go into the boxing ring to train. You're going to get hit. We got you, though. Like, comment,
share, and subscribe. I'm your girl Trish.
And I'm your boy, Mr. Define.
And we are
Black Press.